In 2022, it was J-Rob. 2023, after the season was over, it was Mike Vrabel. 2024 season, after it was over, it was Rand Carthon. And before 2025 even concluded or was even halfway done, Brian Callahan faces the wrath of Amy Adams Strong. Welcome back to another Titan Bros video where we will be discussing Amy Adams Strunk and her trigger-happy firing spree, one per year, that she's been on. And when I say we are breaking it down, I mean me and my brother. Welcome in, buddy.
Howdy, buddy. How's it going?
It's going. So, I mean, if you're a Titans fan, even if you're not a Titans fan, you're aware Brian Callahan met the same fate as the aforementioned Vrabes and J-Rob and Carthon. And so I guess my first question to you, buddy, is did you see this coming this soon?
No, I did not. I knew he was going to get fired. I just knew that was going to happen. But to be honest, you said it before the season started, and I kind of just piggybacked on that, and it just made a lot of sense. But I really thought it'd be after getting completely embarrassed by the Patriots. I thought that's what's going to get him fired. So, a week early was kind of surprising to me. And also as winning against the Cardinals. Now, granted, it was probably a fluky, lucky win, but I thought maybe that would have, pushed him as firing back a little bit, but apparently not. He's gone. And, I saw some people talk about how it's super early. You give him a 5-year deal, you fire him basically a year and a half into it. And part of me says, yes, that was super, super fast. But the other part of me says, what did he do well for the Titans? Like what is one thing you can hang your hat on and you say, this is what he did well? There was not a single thing.
Yeah, it's one of the situations where I'm inclined to agree with you, where I'm like, man, Amy can't stop getting mad and firing people. But then another part of me says, but what has he done? But what has he really done? In fact, there's people like Will Levis who got quite a bit worse under Callahan because he wasn't amazing, but let's be honest, he was way better as a rookie under Mike Vrabel and who was the offensive coordinator? Tim Kelly. He was way better under them, and they looked like a completely different person in a bad way under Brian Callahan. And sadly, the longer Cam Ward, which we're supposed to be breaking down the loss that happened, but it kind of got overshadowed with the firing here. But Cam Ward, the more Cam Ward's in a Brian Callahan offense, the more he's starting to slowly just become Black Will Levis.
Right.
Not as ripped, but he's got cool arm angles as he throws it to somebody else, the other team, or gets it tipped at the line, or just fumbles it from batting it. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's not good. It's not good. In fact, a lot of people say Cam Ward's trajectory has literally been down for week after week after week.
He's looked terrible. His best stat rise was against the Colts, but to be honest, I was not impressed with that game. I think there was a lot of garbage stats in that one because honestly, Broncos may have been his best game. I just think just playing, and that was week 1.
Yeah, I think that's the game that most of his players were just not catching the football, and the offensive line was not blocking at all. So I think that's the game of all of them that his supporting cast didn't help him.
Yeah, he's just to say, to be honest, he looks bad, really bad, really bad. And again, we were supposed to be talking about the Raiders game and now the Callahan filing, but I was going to give him a D in my grading of Cam Ward. I don't know what. He's bad. 3 turnovers is just unacceptable.
Especially one when he just pats the ball out of his own hand, just like.
You know what? He's already only 6 weeks in, looking like a Titan quarterback that's just broken. That's what he's looking like already.
And
And
that maybe that's why she decided to fire him when she did, Callahan. Maybe she's
yeah,
just
and that
like,
might be
you're
it.
turning
Yeah.
Cam Ward into Will Levis 2.0.
Yeah. And I would say this: the pick was, yes, he got hit as he's throwing it, but how long was he gonna hold to that ball onto that ball? I mean, that he held that ball for so long. I'm like, you should just at that point tuck it and run. Like, what are you doing? Anyway,
That's my biggest issue with his game. One of my biggest issues with his game is actually, and it sounds weird me saying this, but I don't think he's using his legs enough. I
no,
think
he's
there
not
are
moving
times
very well.
he's taking a lot of sacks or just making bad decisions because he won't just take off and get 5 yards and slide.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I agree.
That's
He's yes, but he's and you're right. Maybe that's what got Callahan fired. Is Callahan's supposed to be an offensive-minded coach, supposed to help us out with these young quarterbacks. He destroyed Will Levis, but then you had he's a second-round pick. And now Cam Ward, our number one overall pick, is looking bad. So maybe they did this just because they're thinking Callahan is ruining our future. So let's get him out here before we can ruin him anymore.
I mean, I guess that's the thought. And we all know that it was going to be a 1-for-1 deal. As soon as we knew Callie was getting fired, we knew Bill was. I don't even know if you want to call Bill Callahan getting fired as much as I wouldn't be surprised if that was even part of the contract that wasn't actually in paper, but when they were writing the contract for Bill Callahan, he was just like, just so you know, if you can my son, I'm out too. That's probably kind of an agreement already, would be my guess. So as soon as he's gone, as soon as Brian's gone, Bill's right after him. So we lose both of them. I'm not overly upset. Our offensive line started getting better, but let's be honest. This is going back to because I'm kind of talking about the Raiders game and the firing at the same time. JC Latham got murdered all day long.
He did. He did bad.
And I'm giving him grace, but the grace is over. He was horrible in week 1. That's because he came back too early from his hip strain. So I'll give him that one game against the Broncos. First game back, going against Max Crosby, and you're probably rusty. You were terrible again. I'll give you grace
He's
one more
not looking
time.
good.
Yeah, so if next week against the Patriots, they don't have elite edge rushers. If he's getting spanked against them,
Against
we
Harold
might
Landry.
have a problem on against Harold Landry. We might have a problem on our hand.
That's not good. He's supposed to be just like a solidified. Okay, there's our starter for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there was to be honest, with Callahan or without him, we're gonna win 1 or 2 more games of the season. Do you feel like that? Like this doesn't change anything to me.
No. Not
Um,
for the better or for the worst. Because we haven't even thrown this out there yet, but it's senior assistant, whatever he was for our offense, Mike McCoy, former Chargers head coach, who's the interim, which is good for a couple reasons. I did not want it to be Bones Fossil because we've already discussed this. I don't remember if it was on camera or not on camera, but for some reason, whenever somebody gets promoted to interim head coach, if they don't get hired on as the head coach, they never go back to their old position. I don't know if that's an unwritten rule or what. So, like, if they had promoted Bones Fossil as the interim head coach after the season, if they went in a different direction, he wouldn't just revert back to special teams coordinator. And I really like him as a special teams coordinator. So I kind of am glad they didn't choose him. So that way, whoever the new head coach is, maybe they actually use their brain instead of trying to bring in their guy. They're like, let's just leave the legendary Bones Fossil at special teams coordinator. So I was kind of glad it wasn't Bones Fossil for that reason.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just think what's his name again? Mike McCoy. I think Mike McCoy, he'll be fine. And then, like you said, after the season, like I do not think Mike McCoy is going to be our head coach next year, and I like that. I feel like I don't want somebody that could go in there and maybe win a game or two, and win enough. You're like, maybe we should make this our head coach. I don't think we're in danger with that with Mike McCoy.
No, I don't think so either. Now, I will be honest with you. I'll be bummed if at the end of the year we just go, oh, we'll interview this guy over. Okay, Mike McCoy. We'll make Mike McCoy the head coach. I'm like, really? Mike McCoy?
I'd be so mad.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah, this should be it. There should be a separate video, but it is be interesting. It will be interesting going into who we want, and there's gonna be always some names out there, OCs and DCs that don't I'm not thinking about right now. So that'd be interesting. But it is kind of sad, just a year and 6 games in, and here we are looking for another head coach.
Yeah, yeah. The Callahan
And this
experiment
is
was
just
so
not.
short.
It is sad that Cal. It really was, and so bad. But it just disappointed Cam Ward. Um, 6 games into it has a new head coach now, and then he's gonna have a new one after that.
Same thing happened to Mariota. I think he may have lasted like 7 games into it. I don't
It's
remember.
but I feel like we're laying down the foundation of letting down our young quarterback. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, basically. Basically, that's now Mariota had issues on his own, but one of the issues Mariota had is having to learn a new offense every single year, just about. And Cam Ward is going to start off the same way, which I would really curious to see Cam Ward's next media availability, how he answers those questions, because he's been saying it all season long, preseason and season long, saying how the best teams out there have a head coach and a quarterback that are just in there together for a long time. So obviously that didn't
And
happen here.
I feel like that's what Cam Ward really wanted. Like I have a feeling he probably didn't want this, but it needed to happen, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I still want to get an offensive coach. I know, think about it. I like offensive minded head coaches, but they've been the worst for us. Ken Wisenhunt and now Callahan. So it's been not good for us, but I still want to go that direction.
Yeah, because technically our two best head coaches so far in the Titans' history has been Jeff Fisher and Mike Vrabel, and they're
Defensive guys.
the two defensive guys.
I will say this. I was thinking this, and I don't know who the head coach be, but let's. How does this sound to you? Get yourself a good defensive, disciplined, hard, tough head coach. So you get that, but then you hire Mike McDaniel because he's gonna get fired eventually from Miami. You get him as an OC, and that way you can have a great play caller. But I think Mike McDaniel's. I just don't know if he's great at discipline and being a structural head coach. He's kind of losing the locker room. So have him as your OC, but then you have a Mike Vrabel type of guy as a head coach. So he brings the toughness, and you have Mike McDaniel dialing up some sweet plays. I'm like,
So
that would be
basically,
a good combination.
we need our Dan Quinn
And
and
Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury. So basically, it's your brilliant offensive mind, not really a head coach, CEO guy.
Yeah.
Failed head coach experiment that can come right back in as a good coordinator, and it'll probably be a while till someone actually thinks about giving him a head coach look again. And pair that with a defensive minded,
Tough.
who would,
So he brings that to you. So
or at least a CEO type, even if they're not a defensive coach, just like the CEO type. Because let's be honest, Vrabel is a terrible defensive coordinator. I don't know if he's a terrible defensive coordinator or his defenses were just always terrible when he was a defensive coordinator.
yeah.
Um,
But I just feel like defensive coordinators, and I don't know why, over offensive people brings more the tough, disciplined, yada kind of self. I don't know why they typically bring that. So that's why I said defense. But yeah, it doesn't have to be. But
yeah, we'll do videos once people start compiling lists of head coaching candidates. Like technically, we could do an Arthur Smith reunion because Arthur Smith, he didn't get fired by us; he just left it to be head coach of the Falcons. That's not something I'm saying I want, especially since he loved heavy tight end formations and lots of running, and we don't have the tight ends for heavy tight end formations. We have receiving tight ends. We don't have blocking tight ends. But yeah, we'll do a video at some point talking about. Here's probably when we'll do it. We'll get spanked by the Patriots. Then we'll probably get spanked by the Colts after that. So instead of doing like a video talking about how we got beat by the Colts, now we're 1-7 or whatever we'll be at that point. That's when we'll start saying, so who are we thinking about head coach? And then we start throwing out some names like that.
Why the teams I love is such an embarrassment, and we are a joke of a team. And like, why Titans? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's annoying, but I will say, I wonder if Mike Vrabel feels like I'm kind of glad I'm out of that situation. And here I am with the Patriots, 4-2, about to be 5-2, with Drake May, who looks amazing, by the way. He looks absolutely. If you take his very first game away, he's had well above 100 quarterback weight in every single game. I think he's like 10 touchdowns and 2 picks, but I think he threw, I might be wrong, 2 picks in the first game. And so it's like he's just been outstanding. So you have a quarterback that looks good with Mike Vrabel. And I think Mike Vrabel does a lot well, but his if he doesn't have a quarterback, that kind of hurts him. But it looks like he has one for a long time. So I think that's a good combination they have.
I
And his
mean,
OC and his OC is Josh McDaniel, which I don't think he's getting another head coaching job. He had two, and they
no,
both did
no.
really bad. So he could stay there for a long time. So the Patriots might have a good combination of Drake May, Josh McDaniel, and Mike Vrabel.
I mean, I agree. I agree. Mike Vrabel had issues, had some buddy hires for coordinator, actually just position coaches and coordinators alike. He had a lot of buddy hires. But Mike Vrabel was really good at making something out of a nothing roster. Because let's be honest, their offense, they do not have good playmakers. They have an old Stephon Diggs, average offensive line, nothing really impressive anywhere else, but they're making it work. And we always called it a Vrabel game. Games where the Titans had no business even being in, and yet they would win it. We call that's a Vrabel game. And the fact that the whole Titans nation, and I know I'm putting myself on an island with this, the fact the whole Titans nation was just so celebratory after he got fired, and they're saying good riddance after he got fired, still very confusing to me. It's the most successful stretch of Tennessee Titans football since the early 2000s is what he gave us. Yes, I know he had 2 losing seasons in 2022 and 2023, but 2022, everybody and their mother got hurt on our team. We were 7-3 until everybody got hurt, and that's what tanked that season. Now 2023, we were just bad, but at the same time, you fired John Robinson for that. You know what I'm trying to say? And then you fired Rand Carthon 2 years later because of that. So is it a head coaching problem or is it a roster problem? You know what I'm trying to say? And if it was if it was both, then you should have fired them both at the same time. I don't know. But anyways, revisionist history. So yeah, Callahan got fired. There were some rumors that Nick, what's his name? Nick Holds was gonna be let go as well, but I think so far it seems like they're keeping him. So basically,
I will say this:
go ahead.
I think most of our coaching staff will be gone. Like, there's not many people besides Bone Fossil that I think is doing the job well. So whoever our new head coach is, probably completely gonna clean house. And I just hope he doesn't clean house with Fossil, but we shall see.
Yeah, I like Fossil. I like Fossil a lot. My question is it Fossil or is it Chim DK or is it both?
It could be both.
Let's say because really that's
And
the only things that's different from from like last year's. We went from Colt Anderson, is that what his name was? Went from Colt Anderson, and then who was our returner last year? I can't even remember.
Somebody that sucks. I would say this. I don't know you, but I've not been impressed with Denard Wilson either. Like, he could go too.
No, and a lot of Titans fans want him to be our next head coach, and I'm just like,
No.
but why?
Good heavens.
Our defense likes to quit, so if he's in charge of our whole team, that means our whole team's gonna like to quit. Now, I will say, I think our defense played really well yesterday.
I played pretty decent.
Yeah, yesterday they played good yesterday. They only scored 20 points. I remember one of them was a fumble where all they need to get was like 5 yards. So if you take that away, they only scored 13. Our defense played commendable. We had sacks for days. Femi Oladejo, before he got hurt, Femi Oladejo had his best game yet. He's playing really well. Simmons had another sack. Draymond Jones technically had 2 sacks, but one of them was called back, and then just a couple plays later, he re-gets the sack. So we actually had some pass rush. Cody Barton gets his 2nd interception of the year. Snead was making good tackles, which is a weird thing to pay someone almost $20 million a year to do, but Snead was tackling well and didn't allow the back-breaking play. So, like, our defense played solid. But that said, I agree with you. Denard Wilson does not need to be our head coach.
And his hat choices are bad. But
his hat choices are very weird. But yeah.
But I will say this. I think whoever the head coach is, we gotta hire them with Cam Ward in mind.
Yeah.
Get somebody that can help Cam Ward. That's my opinion. That's what the Bills did with Caleb Williams, with Ben Johnson. It was all about Caleb Williams. Who can we get to help him? Ben Johnson's a good hire. I want us to do the same thing. It's like, who can help us with our young quarterback? I mean, how often do you have the first overall pick? We got it. We got Cam
It's
Ward.
probably going to be 2 years in a row.
Well, honestly, you're not wrong, and I need to look it up. I wonder when was the last time someone had the first round.
I know the Jags did it not too long ago because the Jags are
Huh.
always terrible, except this year apparently.
But anyway, so we with that first overall pick, if we get it, man, we have a lot of options there because we got our quarterback in the future. I think maybe, but I would say I'm trying to be patient with him because he is a rookie. It is only week 6, but he's good. Like, here's the thing with a rookie quarterback, you also say there's ups and downs. I'm not seeing ups. I'm just seeing down and down and down. Do you
I
agree?
think more and more down
His
would probably be the right way to say
his
that.
up was one quarter of football, which hey, that was a good quarter.
I mean, yeah, he
But
threw for almost 200 yards in a single
I
quarter.
I need more. You're the first overall pick. I need more than just one quarter. Like Will
Now,
Levis rookie season, he had a great first game.
but he did. Now, here's the thing. Part of me says maybe this will change with Callahan being gone, but the thing is probably not going to change because we still have Bo Hardigree calling the plays. But I want to see us do more than throw screens and run and throw more screens. And then just like, we need to take some dang shots. Like, I know the coverage was a little softer in that fourth quarter of the Cardinals game, but that's what made Cam Ward look good and dynamic. For some reason, the offensive line was holding up really well, but Cam Ward was taking shots down the field. I feel like we do not do that enough, and that's been all season long.
I agree. We don't throw the ball deep enough. The only problem is Calvin Ridley. How bad is that injury? That could hold us because Eric Iomane has been kind of a no-show, and I think we crowned him as good. Maybe too soon, maybe. But he's gonna have to step it up now. Without if Calvin Ridley is out for a significant amount of time, and I don't know if he is or not, but if he
Yeah,
is, Eric Iomane is our guy. He's our number one, and like we need someone to help Cam Ward. You know who I'm
we
thinking?
really do. Strap. Here's
Here's
what I
what
hate
I
to
think.
say it. Good.
Can he do worse though? Can he do worse than Lockett?
And Lockett, probably not. But here's what the biggest issue is with Ridley being gone. All they're probably going to do is just make Van Jefferson the new outside. So it's just Alec Iomanor and, which I hate to say it, but Van Jefferson actually had a decent game. Pretty good game yesterday, like 70 something yards. But, anyways, it's just going to be those two on the outside, and it's going to be Tyler Lockett on the
Get rid of
inside.
Lockett. That guy's useless.
Yeah, he's
Terrible.
Father Time caught up to him, bless his heart. But the problem is his backup is Chim DK. So Strep is
I haven't
still
been overly impressed with his offensive game. No, his special
no.
teams, yeah.
Now I will say they don't make him run many routes. They make him just like a
No.
gadget guy.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I haven't been overly impressed with him as a wide receiver, but so many times it's just a reverse or a screen that's just blown up before it has any chance to be anything. Anyways, we're gonna we're gonna learn some information soon because in I think 10 minutes, Mike Bergonzi and Chad Brinker are supposed to be getting interviewed. So we'll see if we learn something from it because all we know so far is Bill and Brian are out. Mike McCoy's the new guy for now. And that's basically all we know. So maybe they'll answer some more questions or they'll just give us coach speak.
Probably. I will say I'm scared that we might have a bad overall. So we should see about that. And here's the thing. I don't know because part of me says Callahan should be gone. The other part of me says, is this good business that every year we got a firing?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are really happy Callahan got fired when he did, but I almost would have rather just ride it out the season with him because
Yeah, me too. I think that's what I would actually say. Just go through the season and then fire him. But
yeah.
I would
I
say,
mean, let me put it this way: if 6 bad games is all it took to fire him, we should have fired him at the end of last year.
yep. That's I remember thinking that at work today when I was working. I'm like, wait, if we want to fire him just after 6 games, we should have fired him after the season and put someone that we could pair up with Cam Ward for a long time, and with
And Mike
Bergonzi
Bergonzi.
and Chad Winkle.
It's very
So
rare you
yeah,
get to have a whole new slate at GM, head coach, quarterback. We had a
I
shot,
wonder if
but we decided to keep Callahan for 6 games and then fire him.
Bergonzi's thinking, oh, I guess if you just follow this trend, I'm the next one to go.
Oh yeah,
It's
he
really
bet.
GM coach.
Yep. So it's Mike Bergonzi's
I
turn.
I'm trying to be nice to Amy Armstrong for this firing because Callahan was that bad, but I need at least 2 off seasons before we get Chad Winkle. At least, like, we gotta stop firing people every 2 seconds.
Especially since for now I still like his draft class. For now.
Yeah, and I am curious to see how patient he gonna be because that's his style. Draft, develop. That's his style. That's a slow style. And I wonder if is he gonna feel any more pressure? Because this team, let's face it, our team needs more talent. Yes, Callahan wasn't good, but our team is deeply, deeply rooted in holes. Like we have so much uh, issues with our roster personnel. And so is he gonna stay just to draft and develop? Because if he just stays to that, we're gonna suck again because we're just not gonna have the talent. Is that gonna make him want to spend some money? But that's not his style. Like I'm just kind of curious what he's feeling.
We need to spend now this is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother video, but we need to spend more than we did this time because we still have like 30 something million. So we have so much cap, just money we're
Yeah.
just kind of sitting on. There's no reason for us to just be this deficit and this bad around Cam Ward next year.
Yeah. He's like, why do we have money and we suck because we need more talent, yet we have money in the bank, we're just not doing nothing with it.
Yeah. And like Zadarius Smith just retired today. I guess he couldn't find the deal he wanted, but like we had the money for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to play for us because we suck, but maybe we would have sucked less if we had an actual pass rush, and he could have absolutely helped with that. So it's just like we didn't even really try to fix that. And then there were other holes, other issues like wide receiver. We bring in Van Jefferson and then get
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett, and then 2 4th-round wide receivers.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to fix. And there were people out there. There were like, even if yes, he's old. I know Titans love bringing in old wide receivers, but like Stephon Diggs didn't sign until late, and he's been is he Stephon Diggs of old? No, but he's been pretty dang good. And there were other players we absolutely could have gone after. We just decided not to spend money, and then we sucked. But it's one of those situations where it's like, if you already accepted that we were going to suck this year before we even played our first game, then why are you firing the head coach for sucking with this sucky roster? I don't know. Make it make sense, as the kids say, but I don't know. That said, I do think we needed to fire Callahan. Just the timing, very peculiar. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope, I guess not. It's just tough being a Titan fan.
It is. Of all the teams to be the worst, why does it have to be the one that we follow? Shame. I'm ashamed every time I go to work.
You should be.
Because I don't know why. Like, I work in Maryland, and there's like 8 different teams that people are fans of. There's Commanders, Steelers, Ravens, Eagles. Did I say Eagles? No. So Eagles. We got a couple Saints fans. We got a Raiders fan, which thankfully I didn't talk to him today. But that's 6 teams right there. And then, of course, me, Titans fan. So there's 7 different teams that people are a fan of. And there ain't even that many people that work there. So I'm always embarrassed when I walk in there because I just know people are looking at me thinking, Titans. That's kind of the same reaction I have too. So, so that being said, we follow a sucky team. I wouldn't trade it in for the world because I actually just watched a video. I saw a video on the interwebs today of someone saying, "Yeah, well, I kind of lived in Tennessee, but I was a fan of another team. But then when a team came to Tennessee, I decided to start rooting for Tennessee. But I'm done with them now." And then he just said right there on video that he's going to be a Panthers fan now. So, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to do that.
I actually think I would stop just watching football before I would just say I'm another team fan. I just can't do that.
I agree. Like if Titans are the worst, like bottom 5 team for the next 10 years, I maybe possibly could see a world where I just quit watching football. I just kind of like look at the scores afterwards to see what's up. But I would never switch allegiance. You don't do
It
that.
just wouldn't be the same. I could say right now I could be like, you know what? I think I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. But if I'm watching the game, they score a touchdown. It's not the same. I won't be able to jump up. Yeah, I don't. Anyone could be the fan of the best team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, doesn't take much.
Bunch of idiots. But anyway.
Yeah. So tighten up, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So we suck again. We kind of knew that, but when you fire a head coach, there's no way of saying we're done with the season. We've given up all hope on the season, like firing a head coach. we're 1-5. I can't even remember what our record is. 6 games into the season. So that being said, tighten up, peace out, and all that jazz.